Yeah, and it seems as much Uber admitted in court that yes, TfL's decision when it said in September that Uber was not fit and proper to hold a license was the correct one. They admitted we made mistakes and we got things wrong. And so since that time, they've introduced a number of measures that have addressed TfL's concerns around reporting incidents to police, around maximum hour times for drivers to be driving around so they're not tired. So these are things that have placated TfL, and I think both sides are happy with this.
And I think that's brilliant. I mean, the drivers do deserve respect. I know there are many of the drivers I speak to are very happy working for it because it gives them flexibility, but that's another issue. So good for them, they get more rights. Good for passengers, they get more protections as well. But was this always about driver rights and protections for customers? Because whilst I would say they are two parts of the story, the third part, and you know exactly where I'm going on this one because it's very contentious, is the London Taxi Drivers Association and the Mayor of London have a beef because they want to protect their industry as it has been before these drivers came along as well.
There's a lot of political posturing. Look, if you look back at Uber's business in September, it was very messy. There were a lot of things wrong with it. So on the one hand, TfL's move did force Uber to make those critical changes that it did need for passenger safety. But the pressure was there from the black cab drivers. We've seen it for the past couple of years. And since 2012, when Uber first entered London, that pressure's been there. So there was a lot of political posturing in it. And this is how both sides look. At the end, TfL looks like it's done something about the situation. It can come out after this and say, look, we've made Uber change its business. We've put in these safety measures that all the drivers were concerned about. And for Uber, under Dara Khosrowshahi, he can say, look, we're a new Uber, we've changed, we're a lot more humbler, we're not the aggressive kind of Uber that it was under Travis Kalanick, and we're able to work with regulators. Now, I think that's quite important because as this company looks to go public next year as well, investors are going to want to see that actually they can operate in these markets without any regulatory concerns.
There's a lot of pressure too on the UK, and I was making this point in the conversation, in the interview yesterday, that it would be very negative to send a signal that the UK is closed to technology companies by stopping Uber from doing business in the capital. I'm sure that didn't come into the judge's reasoning, but it had to be in the backdrop somewhere in the mind of regulators and politicians.
Yeah, this was as important for London as a city as it was for Uber. You know, Mayor Sadiq Khan and London as a whole has built itself as the tech hub of Europe. There was a big London Tech Week that happened the previous week. And so if they looked anti-innovative, that could really, make startups and perhaps investors look at the city and say, actually, is this really the right place to be fostering innovation, especially if London's saying we are the hub of all things tech in Europe and wants to build itself as an alternative to Silicon Valley too. So that was also, I think, something that played in the background of this, particularly for Mayor Sadiq Khan and his agenda here as well when it comes to technology.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.